camera working? There we go. Hello. I'm almost ready. I just wanted to finish listening to this sick banjo tune. Sick. Okay. Well, let's pick up where we left off, shall we? Why are you not showing the game? There we go. There we go. I really gotta pick up the pace, because at the rate I'm going, I'll probably finish this game in about 10 years. I did 3 whole battles. After like 6 hours of streaming, I did 3 battles. So we really need to speed up.
I've got it.
Oh no, I did more. Right, I forgot we came to this place. So it's like 6 battles. 1 battle per hour. That's actually like, it's like D&D level.
Ah, got it.
Take that. I need to find a merchant. Oh, there's a merchant. Care to take a look at my wares? Fine day, my friend. Might I interest you in my wares? I have all manner of goods I know you need. Show me what you have for sale. She pats her hand on her right belt, or on her ring belt. Let's see if I can find something you like. Whoa. I cannot afford any of this stuff. We have to sell some things. Can I sell my note from the... Oh, why is this listed under Spire? Maybe scrolls are important. Because it's listed as Spire. So maybe I actually do need these. Just a bunch of Vendrian bows. Why is this one fancier? 12 range. Hold up, they're exactly the same, aren't they? Oh no, it's better armor penetration in this one. Other than that, they're the same. Does she need a better bow? This is virtually the same. It is the same. When I switched my axes, yeah. Even though they were the same. Yeah, let's get rid of all this stuff. Oh, I can get a platinum ring, or iron ring, I guess. What is this? Bronze, copper. Oh, I thought it was gold. I thought it was copper, gold, silver. Or gold, platinum. What else? Not sure if I want those. Don't need this. Don't need this. think that's everything. Quite a haul, I believe. I should double check if I guess I can always buy it back. Great, now that I'm rich again, what should I buy? Heavy leather armor. I don't want armor, or not leather. Wait, yeah, what is this considered leather armor? Or heavy armor? It's heavy leather armor. They couldn't have picked a less confusing name for that. Well, that might be good for verse. Except that she has opportunist. And I want to do more damage. Warrior's Girdle. Plus 10 athletics. Stimulates the wearer's humors. I know a couple belts that'll stimulate someone's. Do I want that? Does he even have a belt equipped? What does he have? Is this just considered an accessory? Yes, it is. So no, I'm not gonna get it. Does she have any weapons for sale besides the ones I just sold her? It's a merchant tunic. Cloth armor, that might be good for him. No, it's not good. Well, actually, it's almost a full second of recovery. Which is good. What about this? This is also better recovery. Oh, because he's wearing leather armor and cloth armor. Less protection, but faster skills. So maybe... What does a nobleman's thing do? Disengagement defense. It's so expensive, it's not worth it. I can probably find something that's just as good.
Sorry, I can't.
Can't say I care for the bloodshed, but I'm relieved the garrison is gone. It's a fine day, as long as you don't think about the armies beyond the horizon, or the Bane lurking within the old walls. You know, if we do encounter Bane, we gotta do the Bane voice. I would check out the merchants around town. They always have something that'll catch your eye. I've lost good friends to the Bane. Hate stench of human den place. Burned snout is bitter like bile. Can I go in this random house? Yes, I can. Uh-oh. It's this girl again. She does not like us. You can find a lot of trade goods here in Lethian's Crossing. So you can. Is this gonna turn into a fight? Siren. Siren stands here, surrounded by a group of villagers. She speaks to them in soft, dulcet tones, holding them hypnotized with her hand motions. Her headdress flashes as she speaks, and you are unable to tell if it's a trick of the light or the gem in it is actually glowing. She's swept up in her oration and seems completely unaware you've arrived. There is a lull in her conversation, and she opens her eyes.
Well, look who's here. And what brings you to Lethian's Crossing? Can't imagine it's the scenery or the quaint locals. Have you come to spoil my fun?
She frowns a little, momentarily lost in thought.
Tunon probably insisted you find me, didn't he? Because we can't let Siren have any fun, can we? Let's control her. Let's tell her what she can and can't do. Let's use her to destroy nations.
As she speaks, the crowd around her appears agitated, and the air in the room grows heavy and warm. Suddenly, she smiles.
But enough of that talk. What do you think of my followers?
She makes a motion over the group gathered at her feet. As she speaks, you feel a peaceful serenity washing over you. The crowd calms, and breathing becomes easier. You shouldn't be doing this, Siren. These people don't truly love you. You're manipulating them.
Don't worry, Fatebinder. I'm just practicing.
While her words and tone convey a careless air, the peace you were feeling tightens in your brain, and a couple of the gathered crowd slowly turn their heads to look at you.
Besides, who doesn't love having a legion of adoring lackeys?
She smiles, and the tightness releases your mind. The heads turn again to face Siren, adoration shining in their eyes.
Are you going to disband this group too?
She asks, her tone turning cold. It feels like the room is getting smaller. Siren, you need to control yourself.
Ugh, not this again. All anyone wants is for me to control myself. Why doesn't anyone want me to let loose? I know. You don't have to answer.
She holds up a hand and rolls her eyes again.
That was a joke. I have a little more self-control than that. But maybe you're right. Perhaps if you were to allow me to accompany you. You did activate one of the spires, so your power is something I could learn from. You'd be able to teach me how to control myself.
Well, that easy, eh? Okay, Siren, you may join me. You need someone watching you.
Well then, let's go. If you're gonna teach me the wonders of the world, it's not gonna happen here.
What is her power? Well, I just got this lady, but to be honest,
I'll tack homeward. See you there.
she's not that interesting. But now I'm surrounding myself with just pure evil people. Yeah, what can you do?
Good day, Fatebinder.
Siren nods to you.
What do you need?
I really didn't expect her to be a companion. She's a freaking Archon. You're supposed to be, like, super powerful. I would know more about you. What do you want to know? Tell me about your homeland. What is there to say? It's a fuzzy memory hardly worth recalling. I was born in a northern farming village without a name. That's how out of the way we were. So was I, just saying. A bunch of families ended up settling near each other, and that was my village. It was about 20 miles from Shadow's Rest, and you probably haven't heard of that either. We were farmers, poor and isolated. Nothing about my home or past is worth dwelling on, Fatebinder. I barely remember my father. My mother is dead, and the only thing people ever wanted from me was my song. The girl is powerful. Bring the songbird. We need a blessing. Our crops are withering. What has that bitch done? Her voice falters with the last statement, and she shivers a little. Nothing in your past is worth dwelling on. It looks to me like you remember something. 21 lore experience. Woohoo. I suppose when an angry mob that fears you and what you can do stones your mother to death while she shields you with her body, it sticks with you. What do you remember about your family? The good thing about being taken from home when you're still a child is you can't miss the childhood you never got. What do you want to know? You were taken from your family? Technically, by the time I was taken, there was no family left to be taken from. But Kairos' forces had gotten word of my talents and decided I was better used taking over the world than helping local farmers. You have no family left? What happened? What do you think? They're dead. My father might not have cared about me, about us, but my mother would never have let anyone take me while she lived. Without anyone to protect me, I was whisked off to Kairos' court. It's such a trope to have like a character with dead parents, but if you think about the actual period that this takes place in, or is supposed to emulate, like a good chunk of people, considering people will die like when they're 30 on average, it's actually kind of like more exceptional to have like a healthy, living, just normal family. Which is why I picked it for my character. How would you describe your father? Worthless, hopeless, devoid of human emotion? Sometimes I feel like we were complete opposites. He seemed incapable of feeling anything, and I seemed to be nothing but raw emotion. Narat let slip that my father sold me to Kairos and was responsible for my mother's death. Someone had to egg the crowd on, and someone had to tell Kairos' men where I was. Not that it matters. He's dead, and I'm better off without him. What do you remember about your mother? She's dead, so I don't have much to remember. She loved me, that much I know. But sometimes I wonder if what she felt was love or fear. Fear for me or of me. And sometimes I don't think there was a difference between the two. My mother loved me when no one else did. When no one else could. The world wanted nothing but my voice. All my mother wanted was my happiness. She was the only person in my life that did. Tell me about your mother's death. No, Fatebinder, I can't. Please, don't make me talk about it. Her voice trembles and tears well up in her eyes. Okay, Siren. I will never ask you to tell me that story. Thank you. There are some things that are just too painful to remember. Tell me about your father's death. He disappeared after my mother died and I was kidnapped. I didn't hear anything about him for the longest time, so I assumed he had disappeared and I would never see him again. Then someone brought word that he'd been found. He killed himself, and now he's out of my life. Do you have any siblings? No. I was close to a boy in my village for a time, but his mother stopped letting me play with him when everyone realized what my powers were. That's the closest thing I ever had to a living sibling. A dour expression clouds her face. A living sibling? My brother died very young. I never knew him, so I hardly count him as a sibling. Life in the middle of nowhere is difficult. For a single child to survive, let alone more, is a testament to the parents. She looks at you for a time, her lips a thin line. Her eyes grow red and tears form in her lids. Finally she nods slowly and breaks her silence. I remember my mother talking about me getting a little brother. It wasn't long after I started singing and my powers started growing. She told me that soon it would be too hard for her to travel with me. Siren, sweetie, she said, you'll have to go with your daddy. It wouldn't be good for the baby if I kept traveling like that. Maybe after your brother is out here with us, we can all travel together. Siren looks out to the horizon, her voice breaking. You didn't like traveling with your father? No. All he wanted was the money. When we were on the road, he completely ignored me. I was simply something to earn rings with, a tool. The farmers in my village used their rakes and wagons. My father used my voice. Everyone wanted the songbird to sing for them, and they paid us so much money. So we went. But I didn't want to go without my mother. She was the only real comfort I had. When I was with her, I felt safe. Nothing could hurt me. There was a trip coming up and I knew she wouldn't be going. I couldn't bear the thought of all those days in the care of my father. Her voice breaks again and she closes her eyes. So, I sang to my baby brother. I told him we were all waiting for him. I told him we needed to be a family so we could travel together. I told him he should come out now. I don't know if I meant for it to happen, but I sang the words no one can resist my voice. My mother's screams cut the song short, and the blood, it was everywhere. I was dragged from the room, but I don't remember who took me. I only remember staring at my foot the rest of the afternoon, the pattern soaked into my shoe, the splatter across the tops of my toes. I couldn't bring myself to clean it off. I just looked at it. How long had your mother been pregnant? Actually, no, I'll just say go on. Go on. People came and went all day. There was a lot of crying, and nobody looked at me the same way after that. My mother told me that things like this happen all the time, but even at 5, I knew what I had done, and part of me was happy. I wanted my mother back, and I got her. She still loved me. She died protecting me. But I terrified her. Every time I opened my mouth, I could see her flinch. And after my brother died, she was never around when I sang. She couldn't bear to watch me. This character is way more interesting than the other one. I know I should probably pick the characters that will complement the party, but I think that's why I like playing as tanks, because every party needs a tank. You can even pair up with another tank, and it's fine. Just be a super tank, but that way I get to play with all the characters. How long have you been practicing magic? Always. I have no memory of being without the power. It has been my driving force, and I am who I am because of it. Every defining moment of my life is because of my voice and the power behind it. I have become what it made me, and it is what I have done with it. Tell me about your time with the voices of Nerat. What do you want to know? How did you meet Nerat? I met it when I was unceremoniously dumped on its doorstep by Kairos. All I've felt toward it since the moment I saw it was sheer hatred. When one person tires of me, they just hand me off to another. I seem to be quite the handful. No one is truly prepared to deal with me, I suppose. I was its possession for 3 years, stuck doing what it wanted until you came along and started messing around with Kairos' plans. Why did Kairos give you to Nerat? I made the mistake of trying my song on Kairos, and forgiveness isn't exactly in the Overlord's vocabulary. Interestingly enough, I think it almost worked. Can you imagine how differently things would have turned out if I had a little more practice? I was brought out at one of the many lavish gatherings thrown at the palace. Kairos loved showing me off, impressing the gathered elite. So I performed, I sang, I danced, I convinced people to join in. Then, in the middle of it all, I had the brilliant idea to work one more performance into the show, something that would be the ultimate end to the evening. I added a counterpoint to my song and directed it at Kairos. In it, I mentioned that it might be in everyone's best interest if Kairos ended up impaled on a sword. I honestly didn't think it would work, but why not try, right? It went as far as Kairos unsheathing one of the royal guard's swords, but then everything stopped. I don't know why. It was probably me. I got too excited and lost my control. But whatever the reason, Kairos was suddenly out of my control and let out a terrible shout. Go on. Everyone stared, frozen by the yell echoing back at us. Kairos quickly recovered and gave the appearance of cheering us on. But I was convinced I was about to die. Interestingly, my execution never came. I finally realized I couldn't have been punished at the party because Kairos would have to admit that I had exerted my will onto the Overlord, and without a good reason to call for my death, I couldn't have been executed afterward. Oh, that's crazy. I was a songbird. I did nothing but spread Kairos' will and gather the armies. Would you execute your best and most loved recruiting tool? So Kairos worked with Nerat, and they gave me this helmet to bring me back in line. Then I was handed over to Nerat, that monster, because it is the one thing in the world I cannot control. Present company excluded, Fatebinder. Why can't you control him? I've been inside its mind time after time, and I've never been able to get a handle on what's going on in there. Every time I talk to it, I feel like a different person is talking to me, and every one of them wants something different. And one in particular wants something it's never, ever going to get. What has Nerat had you do for him? Now, that isn't the question that goes right to the heart of the storm. I think you should ask me what it hasn't had me do, or at least tried to make me do. I don't think I need to ask this question. I think it's pretty obvious. Let's talk about something else. What do you want to know? Tell me more about that headdress. It's the bane of my existence and something that's incredibly painful to talk about, so why not? She shrugs. What does it do? It makes me impotent. Do you have any idea what it's like to have a hurricane raging inside you? To feel the gale crashing against you, to be released, but only feel a gentle summer's breeze? Kairos and Narat made it just for me. If I attempt anything more powerful than a simple tune, it will kill me. Isn't that simply wonderful? Honestly, to be so terrified of a mere child. So that's why she can join my party, because she is an Archon, but they have spayed her powers somewhat, it would seem. Why do you have it? I might have tried to kill Kairos once. He and Narat decided I posed too much of a threat, so they muzzled me. I was their attack dog, and they pulled out my teeth. You can hardly be surprised if the dog tries to bite you, if that's all you teach him to do. Why can't you simply take it off? Gee, Fatebinder, I never thought of that. Here, could you unclasp it for me so I can get out of it? Because I'll die if it isn't removed the proper way, you simpleton. Do you think I'd leave it on otherwise? If you can't take it off, then why did you try to get me to remove it when we met? How can someone so powerful be so stupid? I knew you wouldn't be able to remove it. That's not what I was trying to do. You're a Fatebinder. You honestly think I was going to pass up the opportunity to try and control a Fatebinder? Interesting. How do you know you'll die if you remove the helmet? Because I doubt Narat and Kairos would go through all the trouble just to play a trick on me. Something this subtle, elaborate, and long-lasting isn't really their style, at least not Narat's. Plus, Narat told me the helmet would kill me if I removed it, and while it might be a lying monster, it loves telling the truth if the truth causes an extra bit of pain. What would it take to remove it? Someone beating the information out of Narat or Kairos? They're the only ones who know how it was constructed and how it works. I may ask people to remove it, but I know they won't be able to. That's not going to stop me from trying, though. Why the headdress? Why not use magic to gag you? They tried magic. It didn't really work. The problem is spells can be broken. Counter spells can be found. Guards can be bribed. People can have accidents. Narat and Kairos are the only ones who know how to remove this without killing me. The answer is locked somewhere in Narat's insane and Kairos' currently not conveniently located heads. Whoops.
What do you need?
Do you know anything about what's going on in the Tiers? I know a great deal about what's going on here, considering I am the root cause of at least half of it. What do you want to know? How long have you been here? Since the beginning. Oh, you know what I just realized? I could have had her killed, or at least attacked at the beginning of the game, but I didn't. And I remember thinking that it was going to bite me in the ass later on. But now, as a result, she's my party member. I mean, maybe I wouldn't have killed her. Maybe I would have just, like, driven her away. But, I don't know, it could have made her more angry towards me. And therefore, she might not have joined my party. So I actually did something right in the beginning. Since the beginning of the occupation, Kairos wanted me out of sight, but still in use. So I was given her Narat. It used me to gather fodder for the chorus. I want to know about Kairos. What do you want to know? How did you come to work for Kairos? After my father betrayed me and got my mother killed, I was taken by Kairos' men. I honestly don't know where we went, other than it seemed to take forever to get there. Then I was put in school. It was a wonderful and a horrible time. I learned how to control and maximize my power, but they underestimated my abilities, or overestimated theirs. I think it was more the latter than the former. They unleashed my true power. Did they believe I wouldn't try and run with it? They tried to train and mold me, and in that they succeeded. They also tried to brainwash and break me, and in that they failed spectacularly, but I was punished for it. How were you punished? They wanted to cut out my tongue. Even at 8, I didn't blame them. It's what I would have done. But Kairos said no, doing possibly the one kind act she ever did for me. She? Is Kairos a feminine entity? Now that I think of it, I don't think I've ever heard Kairos' pronouns until now. It also here doesn't use pronouns. Just says the Overlord or Kairos. The Kairos name is the single most recognized name in the world. Only the Archons can say what the Overlord looks like. Interesting. So perhaps Siren is one of the few people who actually knows what Kairos looks like and what her pronouns are. But Kairos said no, doing possibly the one kind act she ever did for me. Without the power of speech, I was essentially useless. So they muzzled me. They knew simply holding my mouth shut wasn't going to be sufficient, so they got creative. Using sage magic, they put my voice in stasis when I wasn't in class. I could go through the motions of speech, but nothing came out. Oh, did they take pleasure in it? Between classes, they gave me chores, they berated me, they beat me. I was their slave. The only reason I lived was by Kairos' whim, but I was tortured by everyone else's. There were at least 2 teachers in my classes after the incident, and I was always accompanied by 2 guards, both of whom had been deafened, so I couldn't affect them. I accidentally killed one man, and they were acting like I destroyed a realm. I suppose that's what they thought I'd do next, and who knows, maybe that's what I'm about to do. Why were you punished? They assumed my abilities were exaggerated. They were powerful mages who had spent years of training at their art. How could a little girl ever hope to rival their prowess? I grew tired of their condescension. I hated them for treating me like a child. Their rules, their discipline, their training. They had killed my mother, and I would make them pay for it. One day I got bored in class. The teacher's droning voice was putting me to sleep in the afternoon heat, so I thought I'd have a little fun. He was distracted, and he let his defenses down. He didn't consider me a threat. How do you know his defenses were down? No, I'm not gonna be the person who interrupts every 10 seconds. Go on. I started humming. Nothing that would attract his attention, of course. A lullaby my mother sang to me. Fitting, I thought, to invade this man's mind with a song taught to me by the woman they destroyed. I could tell I had gotten inside him when he slowed down ever so slightly. I started singing wordlessly, standing, working in hand motions. They were completely unnecessary, but I had been trained to be a performer. Then I worked in my words. The window, I sang to him. Look, what's at the window? He turned, entranced, and stared outside, his mouth moving silently as he dreamed an answer to my question. What's out there? I asked him through my song. What could that be? I was elated. The fool had left himself alone and vulnerable, and this 8-year-old had dominated his mind. He walked to the window, intently staring at something I could see. Go on. Of course, I didn't mean for him to fall. He was looking out the window and reached up, as if to touch whatever he was looking at, before I could stop him, he was gone. It looked like he was trying to catch something as he fell from sight. It looked like he was trying to catch something as he fell from sight. Oh, from her sight, okay. I won't say I'm sorry he died. He was a horrible man, but I didn't mean to do it. However, I was elated. The taste of my power was intoxicating. I didn't get to taste it again for a long time. What was life like with Kairos? For several years, I was surrounded by people who would smile to my face and sneer when I turned away. They were supposed to be my mentors, my teachers, but all they did was resent me. They taught me to refine and control my voice. My power became more directed, more powerful, more subtle. I no longer needed to specifically say what I wanted people to do. I could just think what I wanted, how I felt, and the weaker the mind, the faster they would respond. It still required me to sing, or at the very least, make music with my voice, but I could say one thing but mean something else entirely, and the magic worked. Everything was done for Kairos' edification. They asked for signs of her power, and I was used to bring them about. People praised my name, to the extent that was allowed. But if the focus of adoration ever truly pointed toward me, it was quickly stifled. I didn't see much of Kairos. She was busy taking care of her affairs, but I was never allowed to forget by whose power I was allowed to exist. I was paraded around like the new jewel, and since I had real power, it took a while for the luster to fade. But when I tarnished, I corroded through, and when I stopped being a pleasant distraction, I was passed off to Nerat to be forgotten. How long did you work for Kairos? 5 years. 2 years of a dedicated training, 2 years with training interspersed with travel, performing miracles in Kairos' name, then a year being his pet. Interesting, did she just... Oh, or maybe she means Nerat. No, so she refers to Nerat as it. But she seems to refer to Kairos as both... Yeah, it does. He points it out here. Wait a minute, you've called Kairos both him and her. Did I? How clumsy of me. Must have been a slip of the tongue. She smiles mischievously. Is Kairos a man or a woman? You really don't know, do you? That's fascinating. I assumed a Fatebinder would have been given an audience with him. It doesn't seem like she'd let you perform actions in his name without speaking to you. That's part of the mystique, isn't it? If your enemies don't know anything about you, how can they properly plan? So why would Kairos let anything out that he didn't want the world to know? Tell me, Siren. No. A lady has to keep some secrets, and this is going to be mine. It feels good to have some power in this relationship. It's not going to matter once you defeat him, anyway. She'll be gone. Defeat him? Who said anything about defeating Kairos? Aren't we working for Kairos? What do you think of Kairos? Honestly, I didn't really think of him at all at first. If I wasn't getting daily reminders that he owed me and could have killed me, that he owned me and could have killed me at any time he wanted, I would have completely forgotten he existed. Don't misunderstand me. I despise him. It's because of him I don't have a family. It's because of him my mother is dead. It's because of him I am here instead of anywhere else. But as a child, I was kept too busy to interact with him much. What do you think about Tunon? He makes me uncomfortable. There's nothing behind that mask. It's dark and empty. What do you mean? Everyone has a presence. It's how my magic works. I reach into them and convince their presence to do what I want. He has no presence. When I reached into him, there was nothing. It was bleak. I never want to feel that again. If you have to reach into someone's mind to control them, how did you influence entire armies to do what you want? I can't influence an army, but I can persuade them to feel the way I want them to. If I want to get someone to do a specific thing for me, I have to get inside their head, and that requires a lot more effort. No one can keep me out, but if they're aware of what I'm doing, I can't force them to do anything. At least, not with this thing on my head. She knocks a hand against her helmet. Really, I don't know how it works. It just does. You might as well ask me where lightning comes from. What can you tell me about the Scarlet Chorus? If I never talk to another chorus member my entire life, I will consider it a success, no matter what else happens. She folds her arms across her chest and levels a steely gaze at you. Then I am thrilled to turn your attempted success into a constant failure. I'll try to talk to you more often, says Verse. Siren. Oh, Verse. Anything that helps numb me to the droning sound of your voice. Now, do you mind? I'm speaking with the Fatebinder. Oof. Spicy. What do you want to know? You weren't a member of the chorus? What? Absolutely not. The only reason I worked with them is because I was being forced to. Once Kairos had this monstrosity placed on my head, I really had no choice. I'm not powerful enough to force them to let me go, and they had the numbers to overwhelm me if I tried anything. So I did what I was told, until you showed up. What was it like working with them? Well, at first I was treated like a queen. I spent all my time recruiting, and let's be honest, the Scarlet Chorus isn't choosy, so it was easy to convince people to join. Toward the end, I actually started fearing for my life. With this thing on my head, I couldn't effectively control an entire army, so hobbling me was quite an intelligent thing for Kairos to do. If anyone had realized I couldn't hold all of them back, I would have been in big trouble. Your little stunt at Vendrian's Well couldn't have come at a better time. What do you think of them? I'd have thought my look of disgust kind of answered that question, Fatebinder. They're a worthless, hopeless, disorganized bunch of savages who soon will tear themselves apart from the inside. What's your opinion on their methods? They randomly grab anyone and anything they can get their hands on and hope they'll work if they beat them enough. Sounds like the makings of a fantastic army to me. I'm repulsed by them and everything they do. Narad is a disgusting excuse for a leader, and I look forward to the day I can watch the life drain from its insane eyes. Am I being clear enough for you, Fatebinder? What do you know about the Disfavored? I really don't know much about them, Fatebinder. I never got a chance to work with them, so I don't think I'll be much help on this topic. What do you want to know? What do you think of Graven Ash? He seems capable enough. He's organized and truly seems to care about his men, contrary to practically everyone else I've met here. Have you seen them in action? Briefly, at a few of the battles during Kairos' conquest, but Narad liked to keep me locked up tight, so I never got a good look at them fighting. You never worked with them? Not directly. I've been used to inspire people occasionally, and the Disfavored were in those groups. But if you're looking for anything of merit from me on the Disfavored, I'm not going to be much use to you. What about the other groups in the tiers? Who do you want my opinion on? Tell me about the Stonestalker tribe. Not even worthy of my attention. A beast is a beast, and you can't ever mistake an animal be anything more than what it is. You can't ever make an animal be anything more than what it is. Tell me about the local rebel groups. What do you want to talk about? Tell me about the Vendrian God. Are they even still pertinent? After the events of Vendrian's Well, I would have thought no one would want to talk to them anymore. Tell me about the Unbroken. I haven't had much exposure to them. Ash was intent on dealing with that problem, so they didn't ask for my help. Tell me about the Bronze Brotherhood. They're not the most helpful people, but they seem like they want what's best for Lethian's Crossing. Plus, it was a lot easier for me to recruit my own followers with them around. I didn't have to worry about anyone being taken by the Scarlet Chorus or killed by the Disfavored. Tell me about any of the mage guilds. Generally, I don't like throwing in with other mages. I've not had a good experience with them in the past, so I keep my distance. And they're so demanding. You ask them, very nicely I might add, how to cast a spell, and they insist they're not a charity, and they're not going to hand over their secrets out of the goodness of their heart. Right, like there was anything good about that one. And I didn't even use my magic on him. That's gratitude for you. She trails off and gives you an intent look. Suddenly your head feels like it's too small for your brain. She closes her eyes and takes a breath, and the feeling dissipates. Tell me about the sages. I can't say I'm too happy with them, since it was their magic that bound my voice when I was a child, but they are an influential group with infinite knowledge. At least they were. Can you imagine how powerful you could become if you had access to their collections? Tell me about the Earthshakers. Incredibly powerful but strangely focused in their studies. Why would you want to pour your energy into one thing? Branch out. The magic they're missing out on is incredible. Tell me about the Forgebound. The group that Kairos used to make my hobble. The less I have to think about them, the better. They might be good craftsmen, but unless they craft me a way out of this prison, I'll let you deal with them, thank you.
What do you need?
What do you think of your travel companions, who you literally just met a second ago?
Are we trading in gossip now, Fatebinder? Or are you collecting information to use against us?
What, there's a difference?
What do you want to know about?
Tell me about Barrack. Oh, I want to wait until he's around. Tell me about Lantry.
I'm jealous of him. I've heard so much about the Vellum Citadel, and he actually got to see it before all the unpleasantness.
She trails off, a sour expression on her face, her wiggling fingers miming tiny explosions.
The sheer amount of power lost that day is only dwarfed by the amount of power required to cause the destruction, and the power to stop it. The sages have my respect. And, by extension, Lantry. Although, I'm not overly happy it was sage magic they used to bind my tongue when I was a child. I can hardly hold him responsible for that.
How kind of you, my lady. It's heartening to hear that someone of your immense station considers a lowly sage like me to be worthy of your attention.
Lantry performs a deep bow to Siren.
Although not all sages are necessarily worthy of praise. Some are a little overly fond of excesses, of one kind or another.
She arches an eyebrow. Tell me about Verse.
That bitch? I'd walk her off the spire if I knew I could get away with it. I don't know why you even waste your time with her. Oh, don't give me that look, Verse. I'm not gonna pretend to like someone I don't. At least you know where I stand. Subterfuge is so low class.
Trust me, you manipulative worm. The feeling is mutual. And I find it ironic that you find subterfuge low class, considering how you get inside people's minds and fuck them over. If I could get away with it, I'd put a blade inside that pretty little head of yours and twist until your mind was as scrambled as those you invade.
How vivid.
Siren turns to you and makes a little see what I mean gesture at Verse. This is perfect party composition. This is the perfect party.
She's rude, violent, base, impatient, and entirely pointless. You should keep much better company, Fatebinder. You asked me what I thought. I can't help it if the facts are painful to swallow.
She sighs and shrugs.
What do you need?
This is so much more interesting now. Than the other lady she's just a lady. Like, she's not even, the other girl, she's like, has a tragic backstory, but she's not even like upset about it at all. Like, she has no emotional investment in anything. It was too plain. What do you think of the state of the world? What is there to say? Kairos' two major leaders can't stop themselves or their armies from fighting like a bunch of children. Neither of them seem capable of dealing with the rebels that are taking them down, which, as far as I'm concerned, is how it should be. The less of the tiers infected by Kairos, the better. If we could eliminate the armies entirely, I would consider that the true victory. Tell me what you know about edicts. Anything I say would be a wild guess. That's why I'm with you. You seem to have a connection to the power of this land far beyond anything an Archon is capable of. It intrigues me. I want to learn what it is and harness it. Sadly, I don't have the magic needed to enact or break an edict. At least in my current state. Maybe if you got this helmet off my head. She gives you a knowing stare. You're an Archon. You must know something about edicts, Siren. You'd think that, wouldn't you? With all my training and education, Kairos left a very big void in it all. Almost like it was intentional. Interesting, it lets me just ask the exact same question again. Okay, no.
What do you need?
Well, good conversation.
Easy as can be.
Okay, what can she do? Should I be peaceful or warful? Bring of Death. A song ominously describing the power of Kairos' wheel as it washes over life and land, reaping those that stand against it. Also, what items does she use? She has a staff of arcane damage versus dodge. Adds to her performance. Dang, other lady has all my staffs. My staves? Is that the plural? Stave? She's got high performance. Doesn't really have high anything else. High lore and high magic stuff. Okay. So I'm guessing these songs are like modular. Powerful battle chant, Siren was forced to sing with the Scarlet Horse to inspire their victory. Oh yeah, they're... Oh right, there's a character in Pillars of Eternity who does this too. It's like there's... It cycles through different parts. And she just unlocks them automatically. Okay, should I do peace or war? Siren's aria bolsters the party's resolve, extending the duration of their helpful effects, and granting them increased dodge and parry. Siren releases a quick sonic blast that deals crush damage to enemies and forcefully pushes them away from her. I think I'm probably going to need more offense. Maintains a damage prevention field around herself. Any damage, even if prevented by resonant field, will briefly stop this field from regenerating. Oh, interesting. So you are protected from damage until you take damage. Even if prevented. So it basically just protects you for one hit. Basically just have, yeah, immunity for one attack. But it only works on her. What are her stats like? She light armor. Light armor. Yeah. Actually, maybe I should replace Lantry. Although he has better healing stuff. So no. Stuck with him, unfortunately. So this reduces armor. Reduced by 5. That's pretty good. And then this one adjusts the song rate. Is that good? What does breath mean? Breath is the attribute that determines how frequently Siren can sing her arias during combat. Each of Siren's songs is broken into stanzas. When a stanza is complete, Siren gains a single breath. Each aria requires a specific amount of breath to activate. Siren's accumulated breath is lost at the end of combat. The quick breath and sustained breath talents allow Siren to gain breath at the start of combat and carry breath over between combat encounters. Okay, so quick breath is probably a good one. Wait, do I have a quick breath? Oh, not yet. So yeah, rapid tempo will be good then. We'll get more breath. Certain to precisely channel her voice towards nearby enemies, gaining an accuracy bonus to her offensive songs. Ooh, that's pretty cool. And it lasts until damaged, so it's kind of good. You just have it until you take damage, so it's like a guaranteed shield against the next attack to hit you. So I think I will get that. Raises her pitch to deafening levels. Those caught in Siren's attack take arcane damage when and are interrupted. Focuses her voice and raises her pitch to deafening levels. So does just damage. It can interrupt someone for 3 seconds. And it's a cone. I don't understand. Is it so it is area of effect, right? Yeah, those caught in the attack take arcane damage and are interrupted. Automatically gains breath at the start of combat. Let me see what these ones do. Oh, this would slow her song. Where's this one? Speeds her song. I think this one's better because she'll have more breaths. She'll be able to cast more frequently. This is good. Can retain breath for several minutes. Increases the range. Removes hostile effects. Increases defenses. Magic and subterfuge. Yeah, no, I think I gotta go more offensive. So I'll get this. This seems cool. I need 6 to go up. That's crazy. Alright, I do really want this. What are these ones? Bombards her enemies with a cacophony of tormenting notes. Those that fail to resist her power are confused. Siren's defeated. Her final breath unleashes a potent wave of vengeful emotion. All enemies nearby become weakened, dazed, and frightened. Oof. It's pretty cool. In fact, but I don't want her to die. I shouldn't be planning for her to die. I only have 2 points left. You know, I'm gonna keep her alive as long as possible. Keep the at the field. How does this work again? Serum maintains a damage prevention field around yourself. Any damage, even if prevented by resonant field. Briefly stop this field from regenerating. It doesn't say how long until damage, but it doesn't say how long it takes before it recharges. So I'm kind of nervous that I might be wasting my time with this spell. Confusion one's good. Extra breaths is also good. I only have 1 point left though. Nothing's gonna hit me for 80 damage, so I think I won't go with that one yet. I think confusion is probably the best. Okay. Hope this is good. I mean, I did like the skills I picked for that, for E flat. Even if her character was boring. All that work I put into min-maxing. Yeah, I'll just have to keep an eye on this. It just stays until I get hit, I guess. How much can I get her lore up? Because he's got 78 lore. Oh, he's close to 80. I think I should try to get her lore up to 60 at least. And what's going to raise her performance? This will also raise her performance, so I think that makes the most sense. Yeah. Just going to go all wits. It's a very witty party. Everyone in the party is super witty. Okay, it's 60. Can I get her to 20? Should I? No, I'll just do 19. That's 60 lore. That's good enough. She should not be so weak. I do not want her to die. Seems good, I think. Get some spells. What is she gonna be good with? Does she have any magic? She has no magic skills whatsoever. Ooh, this is actually great. It pushes them back and it roots them. So that effectively takes them out of the battle if they're melee fighters. Does it though? Does it actually work that way? Because it's like if it roots them and then pushes them, because then that's just a waste essentially. Who should have the spell? I think he should. What should he give up? Maybe he should have it. Yeah, maybe this makes more sense for him to have, because it dazes them too. Oh, she can do this one. That's good. Don't think she should bother with the close range one. Oh, she can do this one too. Might as well. Nobody else has this ability. He's 2 away from getting this. She should have healing touch. To heal herself. Does she have mirror image? I think she should have it. Yeah. And then maybe she will have, because I don't. Nobody else has this ability, so kind of makes sense. Okay. We are ready to kill. Immunity to poison, vitality, that's good. Extra health, yeah, she gets hit a lot. And quickness, that's good. Yeah, I have no accessories to give her. Wish I could have swapped items before I swapped party members. But I'm not the game designer, so that's how it is. Okay, well, an hour later. And we're finally done with the menus. This is the action-packed content you signed up for. I am, of course, talking to myself because I bought this game. I paid money for it. And I think if I hadn't gone to that random house, I wouldn't have gotten her on my party. Serendipity. Serendipity? Get it? Well met, Fatebinder, and welcome to Lethian's Crossing. Eldian. The sunburnt man dips his head in greeting. An outsider never arrives alone. At least that is what my mother always said. Seems she knew what she was talking about. He nods thoughtfully at his own words. I'm Eldian. Welcome to Lethian's Crossing. Well, if it isn't Tunon's Fatebinder, welcome back to the crossing. Haven't seen you around here since you put the Scarlet Chorus in charge of everything. Eldian looks you over. Must say my memory seems to be failing, something I never thought I'd say. He winks. The way people talk about how you came through and drove the Brotherhood out of town, you should be 10 feet tall and shoot lightning from your eyes. I seem to remember you being a little more human. For instance, who would give the town to the Scarlet Chorus and then walk in and kill them all? Not that I will miss the violence and chaos, but one has to wonder why you would switch sides so readily. But enough of my prattling. You didn't come here for a history lesson, or to get my opinion of your grandeur. He waves his hand dismissively at his previous comments. I see that you've collected the Archon of Song. He bows slightly to Siren. You're taking her with you, yes? Nobody's collected me, old man. Siren scowls down her nose at Eldian. I'm only too happy to see the last of your fetid backwater trading post. Of course, Mistress Archon. Eldian scratches the back of his head. We always treasure your presence here at the crossing. He coughs and turns his attention to you. What can this old fool do for you? Can I ask you some questions about Lethian's Crossing? If you have questions about our settlement, I'm the one to ask. I have the dubious distinction of being the oldest living resident of Lethian's Crossing, so I've been here for a lot of its history. Eldian smiles. Eyes, hips, hair, and hearing might be failing, but my mind still remembers everything that happened here. What would you like to know about? I'll do my best not to go on too long about it. I know I have a problem keeping my conversation short. Really, sir, you and everyone else in this game, apparently. I'd like to ask you about the crossing's history. If you have questions about the goings-on in the crossing, I'm the one to ask. I've been here for more of its history than anyone else, he smiles. What would you like to know? Who was Lethian? The biggest pain in the ass I ever knew? He turns bright red, blushing at his words, then lets out a huge guffaw. I suppose I shouldn't talk about my mother like that. She was a mediocre merchant, but a great leader. The war in the northern kingdoms cost her a very lucrative trade route up north, but she managed to earn trade stewardships from Kairos, and for a short time she had a monopoly on grain, salt, and the tin here in the tiers. What did my grandmother say? Give a blind man time and a pile of rocks and eventually he'll hit a target? He shrugs. Not to say she didn't deserve it, but I think luck played a bigger part in her success than actual talent. But Kairos gives and Kairos takes. The next year, Lethian was stripped of her trade rights. Suddenly she had a large staff, but no goods to trade and no means to pay anyone. But she was a stubborn one, and knew if she just kept at it, eventually things would turn around for her. She figured the trade goods could come to us. The location was good enough. It's crazy how that would happen. So she decided to concentrate on making an existing local settlement into the center of commerce for the tiers, and by the claws of her beast she did just that. I thought she was crazy, choosing a town nestled up into the old walls, but apparently she knew what she was doing. It wasn't long after that it was renamed Lethian's Crossing. With the bridges over old walls, this was the only place to go if you wanted to take weeks off your trip. Eventually, she hired the Bronze Brotherhood to act as our local guards. We were big enough and had enough commerce to warrant the protection. Lethian was your mother? Of course. How did you think I became the Reeve of the Crossing? It's certainly not my storytelling or charm. I may be the oldest living resident here, but that's certainly not good enough reason to make someone a leader. Though, come to think of it, neither is just being the offspring of the former leader, he laughs. But like it or not, that's how things are. My mother was a wonderful woman. She might not have been the nicest person, and she might have been overfond of the dalliance here or there, or there, but who isn't? His face sobers. May her rest be ever free of disturbance. How did you build the old wall's bridges? Lethian was a mastermind of that. Was the mastermind of that. She could tie a knot with one hand, one string. I remember watching her draw systems of ropes and knots in the sand, telling me what they would do when built. I thought she was crazy. She says she got the idea for the bridges from seeing galleys pulled out of the water into dock. Apparently, the hardest part was getting the initial climbing team to brave the old walls and set the first ties. But apparently you can pay a man enough rings for him to overcome his fear of old walls' predators. Why did you settle here? Necessity. The rope bridges let us cross the old walls. With them it didn't matter what trade rights we had. We'd be at a crossroads to the northern tiers, an unbeatable location. The siege of Ardent and the Bastard City ended up helping us. All those folks heading to points east crossed through our little settlement, and many of them decided to stake a claim with us. By then Lethian discovered there was iron in our rivers. She thought it'd make us rich, but it also made us a target. The old walls don't make passage through the area easy, and our bridges cut days to weeks off a trip. Lethian's Crossing is the best bet to get your shipment where it needs to go. Mix a mother load of iron ore into it, and we suddenly had a target painted on us. What is Kairos' interest in the crossing? Iron, plain and simple. Now we have the forge bound here, toiling away with the ore they pull from the river. We're being squeezed from our resources, for our resources. If you're after a drink, better to squeeze fruit than a stone, and it would seem many people find us to be very juicy indeed. There was a merchant who tried to peddle iron rocks as magical because they came from areas near the old walls. One of the people we sold to happened to be a disfavored courier. The courier then showed the rock to a forge-bound master who immediately recognized its potential for making superior weapons. It was brought to Kairos' attention, and soon afterwards soldiers and forge-bound came to Lethian's Crossing. They came with such force our options were either to comply with what they wanted or die. Why does the Brotherhood want Lethian's Crossing? Land, breeding stock. They've been here longer than I have, so maybe they consider it home too. But Kairos' purse masters are no longer paying them to fight, and if a mercenary is killing for free, something's suspect. In the end, I suppose it doesn't matter. Rhea Tommen will never let go. He feels he owns this town, and he aims to have it be his. What can you tell me about the spire in Lethian's Crossing? There's no getting used to it. You'd think that after years of living under its shadow that your nerves would calm, but that never happened to me. You can only be so relaxed when your neighbors are the bane. The moment you let your guard down around one of those old walls, my friend, you're done. Now, Lethian wasn't completely mad to settle here. She ventured inside and found sealed passageways that made it impossible to wander too far beyond the entrance. She figured that meant that the Bane couldn't easily reach us either. Whoever created this monstrosity wanted us to stay out, and that's exactly what we've done. It hasn't been a perfect arrangement. There have been incidents, he grimaces at the recollection. But for the most part, the Bane don't venture out so long as you don't venture in. We just have to stay vigilant every day. Can I enter the old walls? Must you enter? Surely there's another. He stops himself, adopting a less confrontational tone. Nobody will stop you, Fatebinder, if that's what you mean. If you have business inside, I can only assume that it must be an important matter. The old walls are unpredictable, plain and simple. The Bane may leave you be today, but I'm not the sort to gamble when it comes to those abominations. Tell me your thoughts on the Bronze Brotherhood. They were here since the crossing was founded. Lethian herself hired them to protect the settlement when it was just getting started, a fledgling town in the shadow of the old walls. They did such a good job, she kept them on as our peacekeepers, and that's how things went. At least, until you decided to oust them and put someone else in their place. Can't say I wouldn't have done the same, truth be told. Taking pay from two employers is always going to end badly if you can't make both of them happy. On top of that, it seems lately that Ray Tommen is traveling a path no one can see, and I don't want to see what's at the end of it. Yes, the Bronze Brotherhood were the original protectors of Lethian's Crossing, but they passed control to Kyrus's forces and stayed as retainers. Over time, they proved too disorganized to keep the peace. You handed the settlement over to the Scarlet Chorus, letting fear and superior numbers do the work of subduing the local populace. The Brotherhood mercenaries consider this a slight on their lawful claim. Gain favor with Lethian's Crossing. I would like to thank you for your decision to allow them to fraternize with Kyrus's armies while they were all stationed here. Giving them an outlet like that kept tensions in the crossing down, and the settlers have overall been happier because of it. Although it's funny to hear myself say I missed something that happened while such horrible things were going on outside of our town. But you take your moments of happiness when you can get them, don't you? When the Bronze Brotherhood and Kyrus's forces vied for space in the barracks of Lethian's Crossing, you cut off the escalating tensions by allowing the Scarlet Chorus and the mercenary army to engage in combat games. The activity fostered goodwill between the fighters and brought some levity to the occupation. Tell me what you think of the disfavored. I didn't get to spend much time with them, but I will say that they were not happy leaving the crossing in Kor's hands. Rumors about how strict the disfavored are when given an order must be true, because they left even though it was obvious they didn't want to. How have your interactions with the Scarlet Chorus been? There are days when I think we'd fare better with the Bronze Brotherhood holding our throats. For a long moment he stares at you, formulating his words. I know better than to speak out of turn on matters of the voices and the chorus. Verse. Say what you will of the Scarlet Chorus. We call ourselves far worse, but I can't guarantee that you'll keep your tongue. Elian's face flushes and he shakes his head. That's all I will say. There is danger in saying too much. I'm not gonna put him in a bad position. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need directions around here. Elian laughs and puts a hand on your shoulder. I completely understand. The crossing can be a bit intimidating the first time someone arrives, but it's not as complicated as it looks. The river is named Portuska, and it flows down the middle of the settlement. The waterfalls pouring over the old walls are Sunrise and Moonrise. The west waterfall is Sunrise because of how the sun hits it in the morning, and Moonrise got its name due to how it glows during a full moon. The crossing itself is broken up into districts named after the waterfalls. The west side of the river is the Sunrise District, and the east side of the river is the Moonrise District. The different levels of Lethian's Crossing don't really have names, but most people refer to them as the tiers. My home is considered part of the ground tier. The forge is on the first tier, both in the Moonrise District. We must get all the dialogue options, even if it kills us. Got more potions. Who needs potions? He needs potions. She definitely needs potions. Dear God. She needs wits. She doesn't really do attacks. He might need this though. Guess resolve might be good. Vitality? Nah. Oh yes, this is very good. I guess defense against bleeding might be good. I should get her another weapon, but I don't have anything. Are you ready to talk to all the NPCs in town? This is why I can't play games like this. I'm too completionist. Can I talk to this pig? Can I get this pig in my party?
Yes.
Due to the frequency of raids, all the bridges and ramps in Lethian's Crossing can be raised to provide safe places for settlers to hide. Oh, I see. That's talking about this bridge. Nice. Who's more likely to die? Probably her.
I'd say that's worth a second glance.
Fatiguing toxin. Just weakens them. Reduces their attack. Okay. It only works on a crit, probably, right? Yeah. Oh, I already have one. Can't get up there. Wow, I don't know why I ever bought camping supplies, because they're literally everywhere. Okay, I should get some more potions for her. Yeah, I feel like he's probably going to need this the most. The invisibility potion. To move unseen, breaking the effect if time passes or they take any action. I mean, this could be very good if she's in trouble. So I'll keep it with her for now.
Sorry, I can't.
I need more water. I'll be right back. Ooh, what do we got here? Iron axe, bronze great axe, hide. Let me scroll. Is this better than my axe? Better armor penetration. Penetration, but worse everything else. So no, I won't use it. And I don't use two-handed weapons. Oh, whoa. Zoom me in. Oh, Q and E are like my zoom.
Right.
Phaedra, a bright-faced woman greets you as you approach. Welcome to Lethian's Crossing, wanderer. My name is Phaedra, and this is my beautiful wife Dea. She indicates the stone-faced blonde woman standing next to her, who holds up her hand in a quick greeting. What brings you to town? Is there anything I can help you with? What can you tell me about Lethian's Crossing? I've lived here most of my life, but honestly, I'm not sure there's much to say. She looks contemplative. We're a center for trade and a waypoint for travelers. The walls are a little scary, but you get used to them over time. She looks at Dea. What about you, dear? Dea shrugs, her expression never changing. What is there to say? The town is all right, but living under the thumb of an occupying force makes it hard to truly relax. Phaedra puts her hand on Dea's shoulder and Dea sighs. Sorry we couldn't be more help. Phaedra shrugs sheepishly. You haven't always lived here? Several years before Kairos' invasion, I moved away from Lethian's Crossing. Being the granddaughter of Lethian came with a responsibility I wasn't ready for. I met Dea in the Bastard City and decided to stay for a while. We were living in the Bastard City when we heard about Kairos' forces moving to the Tiers, so we took that as our motivation to move. She laughs. And I think we got out of there at just the right time. We traveled a bit with a couple of caravans, but nothing really seemed like home until I returned to Lethian's Crossing. You never realize how much you can miss a place until you've been away for a while. She wraps her arms around Dea and squeezes. But I could live anywhere as long as this one is with me. It's true that trade hasn't been as vibrant here recently, but I'm sure it's simply a temporary setback. The merchants will sing and dance for you, trying to convince you the suppliers are unaffected, but everyone is feeling it. I have faith the world will set itself right soon enough. People call me a fool, but I don't see the benefit in bemoaning your fate. You take what life hands you and make it work. You're Lethian's granddaughter? One of many, I suspect. But I'm the only one anyone knows about. And before you ask, no, Eldian is not my father. Maybe you haven't heard, but my grandmother wasn't exactly the settling down type. What's it like having the Scarlet Chorus here? I avoid them if at all possible. Phaedra's face sours when you mention them. They are particularly brutal and everything sets them off. I would be much happier with someone else in charge. Except the Brotherhood, Dea adds. I would rather twist under a scarlet boot for the rest of my life than have to look at a single member of the Brotherhood again. Thank you for your time. Any time traveler. Phaedra, any time traveler? This is a secret message. Is she telling us that this is foreshadowing? Phaedra says happily, if you need anything else, just let me know. Well, we're getting a sense of the town, you know. It's good to know that not everyone likes the Brotherhood or the Scarlet Chorus, so I kind of feel a bit better about completely, totally slaughtering all of them.
That wasn't so hard.
These are my constituents now. I gotta hear them out and stuff. I always find it funny how in video games you can fit more items in your bag if those items are the same thing. It's like you could have like, oh, I have 100 tires. It's like, no big deal. I can fit 100 tires. Oh, but unfortunately, I also have like 16 random small trinkets that are all different. Nope. Sorry, no room. Just the tires. Good thing it's just water. Actually, it's vodka. It's all vodka. See, they tell you that it's on hard mode. But real hard mode is if you actually drink the mead that they would actually be drinking in this game while you play. Biotis. Welcome, friend. The merchant cries out to you, his belt jingling with rings. He waves his arms about in a dramatic presentation of his wares. What brings you to my humble trading post? Have a certain something in mind or just browsing? Let's see this stuff biotis. Ooh, forge-bound hammer. It's not better than my axe. It's better than my mace? No. Iron gauntlets, are those better? Better armor, less recovery. And, well, the DPS isn't gonna matter. Better armor, though. So I think I'll buy these. I already have one of these, right? Ooh, scroll of volcanic weapon. Interesting. Sigil of fire. I need this one. Even though, oh Jesus, it's expensive. It's all my money. It's heavy armor. This is better than my armor. +2. It's got bad crush armor. Better fire armor. Worse frost. But overall, it's better armor. And I can switch between them. So if I'm fighting crush people, if I'm fighting my crushes, I'll use the other one. Then if I'm fighting my slashes, so I think I will get that, unless there's anything better. This one seems to be better. It says superior. Oh yeah, it is way better. But it's also way, 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 way more expensive. But I need armor. Don't think I need any of this other stuff though. Can I sell anything? I'm not going to use any of these. I might use that for barrack though, so I'll hold on to it. And what is hide for? It's not like a... Oh, it is? Yeah, it's a special spire item. Don't know how. Yeah, I'll trade all of it. I'll make the trade. There goes all my money. I'm broke again. Aren't I supposed to be like the ruler of this place? Shouldn't I be super rich? Can't I just command him to give me his stuff? How come that never works? Oh, it's just one knot in my back. It's killing me. You know, of all the redeems I've seen on Twitch, like the one that people should have is like if you spend enough bits, you get to give the streamer a massage. They allow you to give them a massage. Well, before we talk to anyone, we're gonna rob
That wasn't so hard.
so that we don't feel bad about robbing them after we talk to them. Is this better than mine? No.
Ah, got it.
Plans Headhunter. Ooh. These plans detail how to forge the mythical blade known as Headhunter. This item can be created with access to a Spire Forge upgrade and proper materials. Cool. Can I upgrade my Spire still? Oh yeah, I'm gonna hire a bunch of people. Food regularly provides food to take into battle. Regularly produces weapons. Skill trainer. Battlefield scavenger. Skill trainer. Skill trainer. Skill trainer. Merchant. Also creates camping supplies periodically. Well, no shortage of that. Oh, and these are my building supplies, I guess. A binder with the ability to change what skills you're proficient in. Oh, that's good. I can respec. These old walls are creepy. I don't know how the settlers live here. These worn iron weapons look as if they have been recently repaired and are being readied and shipped back out. Nice. What does Marshberry do? Immune to engagement. Do I not have that equipped? Plus 25 move speed, quickness, and dodge. That'll be good for him. This armor is newly made by the forge bound. It is still warm to the touch. Ulantis, master of casting. Ulantis surveys the room with an air of superiority. He addresses you without making eye contact. Is there something you want? Ulantis catches the stare of Lohara, who beams at him, expecting something to occur. Ulantis sighs dejectedly before turning his attention back to you with a strained smile. Forgive me, Fatebinder. Lohara instructed me to reward you for your aid during the conquest. The conscripted beastmen helped us forge countless iron materials, and in return I am to show you the location of a supply cache. Ulantis takes your map into his hands and circles a small clearing in Haven. Ooh. The production of iron arms and armor in Lethian's Crossing needed to increase, and as governor, the decision of how to handle it fell to you. You allowed the Scarlet Chorus to conscript beastmen to the task of hauling iron ore. Some felt that exposing beasts to the secret of iron forging went against tradition, but you were willing to accept the risk. You mean I did a nice thing? Is there a problem? His eyes carefully watch Lohara as he answers you. Yes, but there are forge-bound matters. Nothing that concerns the High Court of Tunon, I can assure you. What do you do here in the forge? I keep things running smoothly. Upkeep mostly. He smiles coyly. I am also second in command to Lohara, so in case anything ever happens to her, I'm here to take charge. If you need anything, speak to Lohara. She's the one in charge. We only sell to members of Kairos' army, and you, of course, Fatebinder. Lohara, master of tempering. A muscular woman stands upright from her forge and turns to look at you, the light of the fire playing across her face, making her eyes dance dangerously. A toothy smile breaks across her mouth, the only bright spot on her soot-stained face. Do you still want your left hand, or do you kill with your left hand or your right? She rubs blackened palms together, eyeing you expectantly. Normally I can tell at a glance, but you're a little harder to read. Is that how they say hello in your hometown? Do you also answer questions with questions? She flashes more pearly teeth and chuckles softly to herself. It's a simple question, child. When you swing a tool to end another life, which hand do you use? Right. Noted. She clears her throat and wipes her blackened hands on the canvas of her smock. I am Lohara, Master of Tampering, and Forge Master of Lethian's Crossing. My tasks exceed the hours left in the day, but there is no harm in pausing my work if it means speaking with the Fatebinder. How may I be of assistance? Why did you want to know if I kill with my right hand or my left hand? The gauntlet is the hardest piece of the panoply, and the most rewarding to work. So many scales of so many different sizes. And there's the rivets. She slides her thumb and fingers together, shedding flecks of soot and iron dust. I imagine you see a lot of battle in your line of work. One gauntlet is invariably going to wear out before the other. My mind is always thinking on what will need repairs first. It's as simple as that. Tell me about Lethian's Crossing. I don't see much of it, only this. She points to the roof and walls of the forge. Lethian and her merchant crew settled this area a while back. The brave fools built bridges over the old walls and made themselves a crossroads trading post. Real pioneer spirit stuff. The whole place might have been ignored by Kairos' forces, except somebody discovered there's iron everywhere. Can't wash your clothes in the river without them coming out rust-tinged. So the iron made Lethian's Crossing important enough for Kairos to want it for himself. It made good sense to move some of us forge-bound here to Lethian's Crossing. Easier to put us near the iron instead of shipping it over the mountains. That, and this is a crossroads, we can resupply our allies faster than ever from our new workshop. Tell me about the forge-bound. For centuries, my guild has sought the union of magical and manual perfection. While others concern themselves with the arcane for the sake of inordinate power, we study it to overcome the traditional limits of our arts and crafts. The forge is our dominant concentration of study, but not all forge-bound work metal. Some are weavers, carpenters, and one of our odder members fancies himself a chef. The wise and mighty Kairos has been kind to our guild. He offered to put our weapons and armor in the hands of those who would change the world. A broad smile overcomes her face, and he's been true to his word. Forge-bound iron has trampled the tears, and all that oppose Kairos' forces rest their heads on forge-bound spears. What can you tell me about the forge-bound master? Zidenya is the best leader I've had the pleasure of working under. She guides the forge-bound with a steady yet stern hand, guaranteeing all of our work is of the utmost quality and peerless in every regard. I am Zidenya's second, which is why I am the forge master for Lethian's Crossing. She points at Atlantis. He is my second, should anything happen to me. I haven't worked with him long, so I don't know much about him, or the true long-lasting quality of his work, but he was appointed by Zidenya, so he must be good at what he does. Can you make me something magical? No. She smiles and shakes her head. But almost everyone asks. Relics of arcane power must grow into themselves. They are never made from nothing. She points her finger in the air and smiles. But what I can do is use my magic to swing my hammer with perfect precision, or work a cantrip to handle molten metal with my bare hands. We can build artifacts of exceeding quality and refinement, but they must be used in great deeds to grow into relics of power. And that is why we seek to put the works of our forges into the hands of the greats. True legends require the alliance of sword maker and sword master. Why make weapons if you could kill your foes with magic? Why walk if you could pay porters to carry you? She shakes her head with a huff. We have ways to protect ourselves from those who would abuse us, but we study the arcane for purposes of building, not destroying. We leave that to others. They can take our implements and use them to sow chaos if they so choose. I would rather take chaos and force order on it. How exactly does your magic help you make things? Our most important rituals bind the crafter, tools, and materials into one entity? She cracks a nervous smile. Close enough. In my own work, the forge bind draws the whole of my senses to the edge of the blade. I'm tampering. I can see the tiniest notch or touch my finger to the blade and feel the razor sharpness without breaking my skin. Such perfect execution of art has its costs, of course. One's heart and lungs become linked to the flame and hammer. A dropped hammer could lead to a stopped heart. Most of our members die in the throes of their work, killed by a distraction or simple error. She blushes. We lose a lot of apprentices. Let's speak of something else. Tell me about the Scarlet Chorus. My master has had a saying that the Scarlet Chorus always brings to mind, good iron is for swords, not nails. Good minds are for thinkers, not warriors. Lohara shakes her head, scowling. Kairos is wise, and must see something in the voices of Nerat that I do not. We are sworn to Kairos, and thus allies of the chorus. I should not speak out of turn. Can you make something for me? Can? She lifts an eyebrow. Most certainly. Will? Well, Kairos invented cues for a reason. She lets slip a sigh. I have every Iron Walker and every Scarlet Chorus ringleader sending me bribes and flattery in hopes that I'll work off schedule and make them some special this or one of a kind that. Her mouth moves as if to speak, but she falls silent, folding her arms. I will pay you very, very well. Oh, wealth? Her voice becomes a roar. You think I want rings? Sodding rings? Her hands dart to her tool belt, both fists scooping clanking metal pieces. Flinging her hands open, she hurls 2 fistfuls of rings at you. Copper and bronze loops clatter about your feet. Can I pick them up? Can I? Oh, I can. This is what I may think of your offer. She slides her hand in a diagonal motion before her, emulating arousal of the male member. Find some whore of an artisan willing to trade you, the child of his art, for chits of base metal. Forget I asked. Hey, it worked out for me in the end, I think. Are you well? You look weary. Ecstatic. Her voice is matter-of-fact, and a smile creeps in. The ritual of the forge links heart to hammer. My blood beats only when I strike my ingot. My forge runs too hot if my breath becomes too hurried. The bond is both fatiguing and exhilarating. Couldn't that kill you? I should hope so, she laughs, her face blushing the color of molten metal. Better than being defiled and killed by brigands, poisoned by grain rot, or slain by childbirth. Would not a soldier wish to die in battle? Is that how you excel at your craft? Well, that and practice, she scowls. But yes, the rituals link the senses to the materials, and the body to the tools. My hand becomes a joint, the hammer the true end of my arm. I feel the heat of the forge as if it were the weather of the room. Under such circumstances, true focus can emerge. Nice chat. Man, if I knew insulting people would get me paid. I guess it's called being a comedian, so. It's hot, don't touch it. That's the only description. Well, I'm rich now. I like to think that when she threw the rings at me, the rest of my party was just scampering to pick them up. How much money do I have now? Not bad. I'm not broke. Kinda wish she threw more money at me though. The old walls are dangerous. I wouldn't recommend going inside. Eldian is our true leader. Talk to him if you need something. I found some stuff.
curious.
It's a fine day, as long as you don't think about the armies beyond the horizon or the Bane lurking within the old walls. Raven Shawl, plus 10 to subterfuge. Nice. I wonder. With immunity to poison and vitality, so maybe give him this so I can use his sneak attack more often. This is quickness. This one health, yeah. Iron Great Spear. I can't. You can find a lot of trade goods here in Nathian's Crossing. The back wall of this home has long since crumbled away, revealing the old walls behind it. So I wonder if Kairos wants something that's in the old walls. Maybe that's why he's invading the tiers, but it seems like Kairos is invading everywhere, so it can't be that special. Let's go to the old walls. I don't think I want to go there yet, though.
That wasn't so hard.
They revealed something on my map, something about a secret cache, so I think I want to check that out first. Options are good. Did it say where the cache is kept? Is it a side quest? Let's attach the old walls at Lethian's Crossing settlement. Travel there to find a way to gain access to the spire. Cheese. Ooh, bronze. This is good. How do I put this in my... There we go. And what else did I get? A scroll? Oh yeah, didn't I get some magic scrolls? I forgot about that. Magical core used for magical flames. Gonna learn that. And then oh yeah, and I also got new armor, which I think I should equip. So this one's good against fire, but bad against frost. This one's good against frost, but bad against shock. Oh, look at him. Oh, I have pants now. I traded my... He can only wear one. You have to choose. Either you wear pants or you get a shirt, but you cannot wear both. Okay, I mean, it does look kind of cool. Alright, I have a whole lot of new new spells. Searing Pain. Great. Sounds wonderful. Maybe I should make her focus more on fire, since you get a bonus if you commit to one, I think. Gather heated energy in your hands and release it into a foe. Target ignites in flames, burning over time. Although she does a lot of fire damage. Could burn and freeze them at the same time. Sounds good. It's not very good range, though. I think it makes sense for her to have that. Yeah, she never uses this. Fireball, here we go. Only affects foes. I guess they took out the friendly fire in this game because it doesn't seem like any spells do friendly fire. That's pretty powerful. Oh, he's one away from 80. Do accuracy. I think cooldown would be the coolest. It's only a few seconds though. No, I'll do accuracy. Yeah, I'll do accuracy. But what should I replace then? Rhyme Spike? She has Rhyme Spike. His is better though. But we need more area of effect spells. So, yeah, I'll give him this one. Flash fire. Yeah, so it's a cone of fire damage. Nobody can get this one. Again, it could be good for him since he's always at the front line. Yeah, I think that's good for him. It's just a bit more damage if I do this one. But I could hit a lot of targets with it. And they're also on fire, so yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. Maybe I won't give him haste. Wait, didn't I also get another scroll? Didn't I learn 2 scrolls? What was the other one? Wasn't it? Wasn't there another one? Didn't I buy a scroll? Is there? Oh yes, I did. Okay, volcanic weapon. Accent that uses fire and brimstone to cause material force spells to damage foes in a line. But it only works with certain things. Can I use it? No, it doesn't look like anything works with it. Oh, no. Yeah, these are all going to be the Frostfire. Those are all going to be... Okay, so that was a waste of money. Dang it. Okay. Fire spells. Glowing barrier. Use your knowledge of the flame to gain a healing effect when you would otherwise be harmed by fire. A portion of incoming fire damage heals you, and your fire armor is increased. Oh, interesting. This is a very specific situation. 30% of fire damage converted to health. It's kind of cool. I'll have to save it for later. Oh, should I talk to these people? Greetings, Fatebinder. Sorry, I'm not interested in whatever you're selling. If you want to talk to someone, talk to my brother. Well, he didn't say much, so I'm leaving. Great. I gotta take a short break. I'm just gotta stretch my legs. But I'll be back in a couple of minutes, maybe like 10 minutes or so. So I'll see you in a little bit. Oops. Anyhow, back to the game. Name of the game is Tyranny, where we bring tears to all the Annies of the land. What's this? Water and raw meat. That's a good thing, apparently. I'm just carrying my water. She's potion of protection. Yeah, I still don't really understand what her abilities do. She... at the tempo. Yeah, how does she sing exactly? Oh, it's right here.
Do I really need
Whoops.
to?
Do I really? So these are her songs. So, does arcane damage to nearby enemies, raw damage to nearby enemies, and then frightens nearby enemies. Then drains health. That's cool. It's Bane of Night. This one, Glory in Battle. Adds dodge and parry. Adds additional resolve. Adds armor. And then the last one shields enemies, or shields allies. This one +4 might, 11.6 armor, 6 resolve, 11.6 armor. So this is just adding armor, and eventually it lowers their armor. And this one, this lowers their resolve, their dodge and parry, and weakens them. This adds might, wits, and vitality. It's going to be so hard to remember all this. So Sword of Strength, Sword of Justice is might, then wits, then vitality. And then this one is plus 25% move speed. Bonus armor for fire. And then it, oh no, sorry, it's 11 armor stolen? So in this case it's bad? Stolen means bad? And then this one is bleeding for 6 seconds.
Sorry, I can't.
It'd be nice if there's like a training zone where I could test all this stuff. Hey, Fatebinder, drinks are on me. Hick. Haven't seen a Fatebinder in these parts for a while now. Come to bring your justice? Oh, I bring justice. Nothing but miscreants and misfits since the sword or sheath opened. I'd wish they'd shut it down. Good riddance to those uptight beast rudders. During clear mornings, the western waterfall reflects the rising sun in a beautiful display of color. Will I see it if it's actually... Oh, whoops. Where do I see the time? It's only noon, but I wonder if I wait until... what did it say, dawn? Wonder if it actually looks different.
Sorry, I can't.
This is the eastern waterfall. Though it cascades down alone, some settlers believe
Interesting.
that the waterfalls split from a single source somewhere above the old walls. It's cloth armor, extra deflection, disengagement, defense, and recovery. That's just jewelry. What boots does she have? This is way better. This is way better in every conceivable way. It looks terrible. That looks way cooler, but... This ain't a fashion show, Missy. Everything's spinning.
Sorry. I can't.
Give him some grain.
Can't do that.
I've lost good friends to the Bane. I've lost good friends to the Bane. Travelers often stop by the market before they head out of town. You never know what you'll need. Was I up here already? No. Oh, nice. Iron hide. I wish it would automatically put it in my Spire tab.
Sorry, I can't.
I've lost good friends to the Bane. Haven't seen a Fatebinder in these parts for a while now. Come to bring your justice. Oh, these people don't have a lot to talk about. It's like one or two people in town will just have... They won't stop talking. They won't shut up. But they've absorbed all the social energy from everyone else in town, so... This wall appears to have been damaged years ago but was never properly repaired. You can find a lot of trade goods here in Lethian's Crossing. Eldian is our true leader. Talk to him if you need something. The old walls are dangerous. I wouldn't recommend going inside.
Sorry.
Alchemy
I can't.
supplies. That's also for my Spire, I think. Is this better than my axe? No. It's better than my bow. It's not better range, but it is better damage. Yeah, I think I'll equip it.
I see you there.
Relax.
You got it.
It's a fine day, as long as you don't think about the armies beyond the horizon or the Bane lurking within the old walls. Can I talk to the cat? No. What is the cat's stats? I mean, it's got pretty good willpower. Haven't seen a fate binder in these parts for a while now. Come to bring... Oh, they all just say the same thing. Iron sabatons. What are these? Heavy armor. It's better armor. Worse slash, though, but better pierce. And worse recovery. I'll take them. Yeah, I think it's better to have better overall armor than to just have specific. Did it say on the map where they marked? Oh, it's crazy far. This location was used as a forge-bound supply drop for materials shipped by water, but it's fallen into disuse following increased wartime instability. Volantis showed you this location, which may still have items of use to you. And the question is, do I go there first before I do any quests and get some good items? Or do I just do the stuff that I'm doing while I'm here? I'm going to have to go back this way anyways to go to the Bastard City. So I think I should go to the cache first. Speed it up, boys. Come on. Come on. Wait, did I miss a door back here somewhere? No, I think I'm pretty sure I went in there. I'm pretty almost sure. Oh, have I talked to him yet? No. Good day, my fine friend. Can I interest you in all manner of provisions? There's no telling what may befall you on your travels. Maybe I did talk to him. Oh no, this is new. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's very good. Damn. What type of weapon is it? Is it a... I guess it doesn't matter. Damn, I need that. What can I sell? It's not enough. Was this better than... I don't remember getting this. When I forgot to check these. I think this one I figured was not better than my mace, right? It's better DPS. Less accuracy though. It's kind of better actually. Why can't I see? Can I sell? Oh no, I have to. You must unequip this. Okay, well, first I'll trade. So this is crush damage. Yeah, this one's better. Oh, that looks cool. Where did my weapon go? Where did my mace go? Wait, what? Where did his mace go? I had a mace. Did I not? It's just gone. What the hell? Let's test what happens by... That went in here. But the mace is gone. Oh, that just disappeared too. What? It just disappeared. I'm just losing items. That's crazy. Well, fuck. That really sucks. She's not gonna use these, or is she? The nimble gives her the accuracy bonus. This just gives disengagement defense, so no, I'll sell these. Didn't disappear? Okay, good. Is this better than her dagger? Sort of better. Better armor penetration, but DPS is lower overall, so no, I'm not gonna use it. Right? It's 14 to 16 and then 9 to 12. Slightly, yeah, the DPS is actually slower because it's the recovery is slower. So no, I'll sell that. Do I have any room for that stuff? This should go in my spire. I'll just sell all this stuff. Oh, and I can sell this axe, right? Right. Oh, it's the same axe. Okay. And I can sell this bow. And I think I can sell these gauntlets. Oh wait, no, these are better. These are better gauntlets. I think I bought these actually, and I just forgot to equip them. These ones I can sell. And these ones are worse, right? Yeah. And I'm saving this just in case I need. What is it? Frost armor. And this one's definitely worse than what she has. Except that it's more fire. But I like the opportunist. I want her to do more damage, so I'll sell it. Yeah, I can't believe my mace is just gone. It's so weird. Okay, I'll sell this. I'll sell this. Slash and pierce. It's 25 to 32, 20 to 28. Yeah, that's better. Okay, please tell me that's enough. Oh, it's not enough. It's just shy. I bet if I had that mace. Goddamn. I mean, I shouldn't spend all my money anyways, but damn, is it good. And it's better in every way. It's better DPS and better accuracy, and it's got poison. Oh, then I should just sell one of her. Oh yeah, this is worth 13. That one's got frenzy. It's not great. But if I sell this one, then it should be good. So I'll sell this for 5, and then I should have enough, right? Yes. Haha. Deal. Good deal. That's how much it costs me, right? Yeah. Nice. This should be your main weapon.
I see you there.
Oh, and was there a house over here somewhere? And another merchant? Oh, I probably should have talked to all these merchants before I sold all my stuff. Or spent all my stuff. Good day to you. Might I interest you in all manner of provisions? Who knows what you'll run into outside of Lethian's Crossing? Potions. +4 armor. And 20% endurance defense. This just adds everything. That might be good. It's expensive. But might be good. Defense against spells, will defense. This could be good too. This one I already have, right? Yeah. Should get a couple of these. Ooh, I got more cores. Lightning core. Yeah, I think that's good. What does this do? 120 point stasis shield for 15 seconds. And plus 4% health every 3 seconds for 15 seconds. Removes the hostile effects of damage and boosts the imbiber's natural healing rate, but also causes a brief period of immobility. While capable of alleviating any number of unpleasant battlefield maladies, reactions to this potion's toxicity has its downsides. The imbiber experiences a period of nausea and must stay rooted to the ground in order to fight past it. Toxicity is widely attributed to the challenges of distributing aid across an active military while maintaining quality ingredients. This consumable's effect increases in strength as its user gains in power. Interesting. This is like a very... this is for emergencies only, I think. And it's not cheap. Potion of Revival is good, though. Well, it reminds me, Barrack has my Potion of Revival. Damn. Removes a wound and revives. Definitely want this. At least one. Maybe I won't get this one. Okay, hopefully that's enough to save me. I already have the frost one, yes, okay. Damn. Everything's so expensive. I now have to spend another 10 minutes figuring out my spells. Charge Fist, channel an explosive surge of electrical energy, releasing it all at once on a nearby enemy, interrupting them, sending them flying back. Electrocute the target with a huge bolt of entwining lightning, dealing shock damage and stunning them. Electrocute the target with a huge bolt of entwining lightning. Okay, that's the same thing. So stunning is good. Has good range. This might be good for verse. Fulmination. Release several waves of electrical energy, charging enemies with shock vulnerability. Following the final wave, unleash all contained energy upon foes in a violent surge of power. It's kind of cool. That could be good for verse. Grounded core. Wreathe the target in electrical energy. Enemies that strike the ally are zapped for shock damage. That could be good for Rhombus, actually. I think I will do this. He gets hit a lot. What do I remove? Concussive, Flashfire, Frozen Grasp. I think this makes more sense than Frozen Grasp. Should I do any of the other ones? Maybe this makes more sense for her than False Pit. Pulse Pit is pretty good though. And it's good for her because she does extra damage to prone enemies. But it only lasts for 2 seconds, so... This one lasts for 4? No. This one's also 2 seconds. Whatever, it's more damage. It's versus dodge. This one also, this one's versus magic. This one might be good to have a mix of defenses. But then it's also good if, because all of her weapons do piercing damage, so it's good to have a mix of damage types. So yeah, I'll keep it. What does this do? Oh, vitality, right. Because I gave him the subterfuge thing. Who should have the potion of revival? Probably you. Although you do have the ability to revive already, so maybe you. Some healing potions that I can't split up, unfortunately. The inventory in this game is so awful. I have items that disappear. You can't split up stacks of items. Hit deflection, 20 parry, and finesse. I don't know. There's too many options. Oh, and I should equip this, yeah. I think bleeding's probably going to be that big a problem, and if it is, I do have an ability to remove it. So I think that's a good choice. And now I'm out of money. Yes, show me what you have for sale. A much cooler bow that I should have. Oh, what did I do? Oh, nothing. Okay. Fires multiple projectiles. Yeah, this is way better. I should have saved my money for this. The boy behind the giant wanted soldiers specializing in range combat to be self-sufficient rather than relying on melee support to protect them. Dang. This would be good. Oathbound dagger. That's just a really good dagger. Okay, well, I know what I'm saving up for. Oh, geez, it's super expensive. It's 1 iron ring, 55 bronze rings. Yeah, I'm not going to get that anytime soon. Reading salutations. Welcome to Lightning's Crossing. Yeah. We know what you're going to do. Mercy. Don't even know what it is. Staff of Enigma. Does random damage versus dodge. Interesting. Grounding Garbs is shock armor. Heavy bronze is what I should get. Actually, it's not that much better. It's got better crush armor, but that's about it. Manto of Mirror, spell reflection. Reflect 20% of incoming hostile spells back to their casters. Oh, I definitely want this. I definitely want that. Will defense. Just got more healing potions. Do I have these ones? I got fire, I got Got rooting. Right? Yeah. Got illusion. I don't have bleeding though. Again, so I don't have enough lore for this. I get that, but my other guys do. Why can't they? Can they read it? I wonder. Whatever, I should save my money. And I don't have any room for spells anyways, so I'll buy... Yeah, there's no way to split them up. I'll get 4. Actually, no. I'll get 3. I definitely can't die now that I've spent all this time preparing. It's a fine day as long as you don't think about the armies beyond. Yeah, they're just gonna repeat the same stuff. Tired of talking to these people. Ungratefuls. Won't even give me free items. Come on in. Well, actually, let's get to know each other first. I'm not sure if I want to. What are they doing? Is this like a yoga class? Balin tour. Welcome. Welcome to the sword or sheath, traveler. The robust, ruddy-faced man at the door greets you warmly. Please come in and get a load off. I am the master of this wonderful establishment, and trust me on this one, the pleasure will be all yours. Balin is the name, but all of my friends call me Bay. He winks and holds out his hand. Would you like to be my friend? I'm gonna say no. He drops his hand when he sees your face and stands up straight, only to immediately bow to you as formally as he can. Fatebinder, what an immense pleasure it is to have you visit the sword or sheath. How can I be of service to you? Or rather, how can my wonderful selection of entertainers be of service to you? He makes a sweeping gesture, drawing attention to the various men and women, and one beastman, entertaining the happy patrons in the establishment. What does conquest mean? Tell me more about the sword or sheath. Now, if anyone knows about this establishment, it would be you, Fatebinder, Balin exclaims. If not for your intervention during the Brotherhood's occupation of the crossing, we wouldn't even exist. He smiles and winks. Granted, I like to think we have improved conditions a little past conscripted prostitution. Now all my entertainers set their own prices, and I take a cut. It is good for us both. Tell me about yourself. Me? Balin's eyes widen with mock surprise. That is hardly a story worth telling, Fatebinder. I was a simple, struggling merchant until you decided to establish this very brothel to control the Brotherhood's lustful desires. I may not be the best merchant, but I know an opportunity when I see it, so I volunteered to run the brothel. I can't sell trinkets to save my life, but people, well, they sell themselves, don't they? He laughs. So life is good for simple old Balin. I'll tell you that. Not to say I was always swimming in cream. What does that mean? He smiles and winks. It was a rough start, especially with entertainers who were, for lack of a better word, forced to entertain our clients. But once people realized the money to be made, I was overwhelmed by requests to work here. You wouldn't believe the waiting list to get a slot. He elbows your side jovially. And a lot of people want a job too. I let the entertainers set their fees, and I take a flat fee off the top of every transaction. If they up their fee past a certain point, I take a bigger cut, plus a percentage. This ensures my entertainers don't charge so much that people never return, but don't charge so little that I don't make any rings. Do you have anything to eat or drink? I'd say take your pick of my beauties, but I get the feeling you actually mean you want food and drink. Balin smiles slyly. I don't have much, because that's not really why people come here, but you're welcome to peruse the menu. Okay, well yeah, that's about what I expected. Welcome back. I knew you wouldn't be able to stay away from the sword or sheath and its infinite pleasures. Yeah, I'm I'm working right now. Evarista. Well, hello, gorgeous. The beautiful brown-haired woman calls out to you. My name is Evarista, and I'm ready to show you pleasures you've never seen before. She briefly stops dancing and presses up against you. You'll never want to leave. Tell me about yourself. Very awkward. You don't need to know anything more than this. I will take care of your every need. Just lie back and let me do all the work. You'll wonder how you lived before me. What can you offer that the others can't? Oh, sweetie, you have no clue, she laughs lightly. But if you are looking for something particularly saucy, let me give you the dirty Lethian. Her voice drops to a whisper. She was a filthy, filthy woman. Oh, how we miss her. I'll come back later. Is this good? Is this better than mine? No. Better range? No. Oh, right, because that one isn't ranged, but better armor penetration. They would have good armor penetration here, am I right? Okay. Dallas, a giant man with mutton chops and well-defined muscles, dances before you. As you watch, his hands drop to his belt line and he slowly caresses the front of his pants as he moves. When he finally speaks, this is a mature stream, by the way, just so you know, he moves his hand, revealing an enormous bulge beneath the fabric. You need something? He smiles broadly. Name's Thalys, and if you like what you see, I'm ready to give you a closer look. Tell me about yourself. I'm big, I'm strong, I'm insatiable. Thalys. Even his name, gosh. Thalys stops and grins. Is there any more you need to know? He lets out a little laugh. I was a lumberjack, if that's not too unbelievable, but I got tired of the work. Too much swinging, sweating, and pain, and not nearly enough pleasure. So I offered my services to Bay. He winks. And when Bay had enough, he gave me a job. What can you offer that the others can't? I need to get to know my constituents, I should mention. Dallas flexes for you, making various poses before thrusting his hips at you. If you want to spend some time with me, I'll unleash the purple scourge for you. Bay and I came up with the move, and I believe you'll find it well worth your while. No thanks. You should probably, if your scourge is purple, you should probably get it looked at. I'm just saying. Let's talk to Sheila. Sheila, a beautiful dark-skinned woman, dances slowly by herself, her hands moving over the curves on her body. Her skirt is barely held closed over her breasts by a single button, which she is playing while she dances. What can I do for you this beautiful day? She watches you closely as her hand leaves the button and slowly traces the line of her cleavage. If you want a good time, then you've come to the right place. Sheila is here to take care of you. Gulp. Tell me about yourself. Now, why would you want to spoil the mood and talk about regular life? She pouts and stops dancing. Her shoulders droop and she wrinkles her nose. I'm a wonderful mother, and I'm only doing this to care for my wonderful children. Without me, they'd be lost. She lets out a hearty laugh. Can you imagine me, a mother? She laughs again. Who I am doesn't matter, you sweet thing. What I can do is what matters. And what I do can make you forget about everything that troubles you. What can you offer that the others can't? Well, I'm no expert in the area of magical arts, but I do know a trick or two. Mix that with my true skills, and you have something that will curl your toes and have you singing my praises to the whole town. Let me give you the Tidecaster's flow. Everyone will ask you how you sing so loudly. I wonder if these actually will give me bonuses, because I know in what's it called, in Pillars of Eternity, wink wink, of Eternity, you could stay at different inns and you would get bonuses depending on like what room you stayed in. So you might actually, this might actually be worth it, but except for the fact that I am broke. Yeah, I'm completely broke. Roxana, The tall blonde is dancing with a gorgeous brown-skinned woman, breaking it off when she catches sight of you. Hello there, you beautiful creature. She grips the sides of her dress and pulls it up ever so slightly as she gyrates her hips. My name is Roxana, but you can call me Roxy. What can I do to you? Tell me about yourself. I don't like to talk about the past, sweetie. She puts an arm on your shoulder and leans in. What matters to me is right now. And right now, I want to see what's under your clothes. She playfully pulls at them. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not really wearing much myself. Which is probably good for this place. What can you offer that the others can't? I think you should ask what I won't offer. Roxana bites her bottom lip. Whatever you want, I'm always up for it. This is your lucky day. You just found someone who will never say no. But if you really want a way to remember your visit to Lethian's Crossing, let me show you my Old Walls Breach. Just might make you weep. I don't know if that's the sexiest name you could have come up with. Old Walls Breach? Is that... I think you could have done a little bit better than making me think of an ancient, a large slab of stone. Anyhow, just a little feedback, some customer feedback. Philo. The lanky man stops dancing when he catches your eyes and clasps his hands in front of him. He leans down and steps over his arms and pulls them up behind him. His shoulders make a small pop, and his hands are once again in front of him without him ever having pulled them apart. Wait, what? He clasps his hands in front of him. He leans down and steps over his arms and pulls them up behind him. I see. His shoulders make a small pop, and his hands are once again in front of him. Without him ever having pulled them apart, he smiles. That is but a drop in a very large ocean. As he speaks, he pulls his right leg up, holding it vertically against his side in a standing split. What can Philo do to loosen you up? Tell me about yourself. I used to perform as a contortionist. He lies prone on the floor, bringing his legs up over him to rest on his shoulders. Then he moves them from his shoulders to the ground in front of him and stands, slowly bringing himself back upright to gaze in your eyes. That's the only thing you need to know about me. What can you offer that the others can't? If my acrobatics aren't enough to pique your interest, then let me try to entice you with this. He holds up one of his hands and moves his thumb around hypnotically. It reminds you of a snake. Maybe you'd like to try edging the ruins? I guarantee it will put a smile on your face. Again, ruins. I guess it's kind of sexy. I guess it's definitely better than old walls. Maybe some other time. Half-mast. Now there's the most modest stripper name I've ever heard. Half-mast, the rough-looking beastman grunts at you. Although it seems to have been recently brushed, his fur is matted in clumps, and he occasionally scratches himself, gingerly sniffing his claw when he finishes. The small loincloth around his waist does little to cover him, and your gaze moves of its own accord to stare at what's between his legs. He smiles. Human-like, half-mast? Tell me about yourself? Half-mast sniffs. Beastman find town. Humans in Lethian's Crossing are nice to Beastman. Balin give half-mast job, and now half-mast give people happy time. So, is this even safe? Human no worry. Half-mast not use claws. Half-mast give human the brood hole. Human very happy with half-mast brood hole. Half-mast smiles and clumsily pokes the first finger of his left hand through a circle made from the thumb and first finger of his right hand. Right. Some other day, perhaps. I hope that's just he's just using a euphemism, and there's not some like other thing going on anatomically, some alien stuff. What am I in the mood for today? Decisions. Let's see this guy. Charitus. Greetings and welcome to the Sword or Sheath. The hardy blonde man raised a hand in greeting as you approach. My name is Charitus, but don't let the name fool you. I'm not giving anything away. Tell me about yourself. Nothing too exciting ever happened to me, Charitus shrugs. I was an adventurer seeking my fortune far and wide, and what I found was Bay, who offered me a job. I've been here ever since. That's what always happens to these young kids these young hotshots, when they move to Lethian's Crossing. They got big dreams. Next thing you know, they're doing yoga poses in a back alley tavern. What can you offer that the others can't? While my moves might not be as exotic as Evarista or Philo, I do know one trick that no one else does. I learned it out at sea crossing the churning straits. Spend the night with me and I'll give you the leaky port. And your life will never be the same. How much do you charge, sir? 30 rings for the night, and trust me, you'll get your money's worth. 30 bronze rings or 30 copper rings? That's got to be 30 copper rings, right? I will talk to you later. Well, this is now... I have a new quest. Forget the war. Forget the visions. I need money. I'm getting that leaky port. What would my signature move be called? I think the barrel roller. I'm just saying that because I saw a barrel. Oh, can I talk to this person? No. Okay, so I'm gonna go get my secret cache. And then I am probably gonna play some Fortnite with my family in a couple minutes. But I think I can at least get this supply cache. Oh wait, hold on. First, did I buy some items that I need to equip still? No, I don't think so. Yeah, it'll take me a day, but there's no real... Is there, like, any real urgency? I don't think so. Let's do it. I hope this doesn't turn out to be like an ambush or something. Okay, are these guys gonna attack me? Boars. Iron War Mace. Oh, it's two-handed.
Can't do that.
I should also be careful. The crates are overflowing with spoiled food.
Moving cautiously.
I will stay out of sight.
Ooh, this is good. Deflection and disengagement defense. These ones are just armor. It's heavy armor. This is cloth armor. I think. Let's see. Worst deflection. Oh no, those are the wrong boots. Oh no, these are the right boots. Right. I still feel like having the extra accuracy is better. Is better than her boots? They're the same boots. Okay, well. Going in the garbage then. And then are these better than my boots? They're the exact same. This is why I shouldn't have bought anything. I'm just gonna end up finding it all anyways. And these throwing daggers, I think, are... Is it better than mine? Oh, it's way better. It's better than Trickster's Tooth, but Trickster's Tooth has a weapon crit minus 10 recovery time. So I think I'll keep that. But it is almost better than the other one. Better DPS. It's just slightly worse recovery. But same recovery as Trickster's Tooth. But yeah, better than every other way. I'm gonna keep it. Just iron and bronze. Okay, that was not as exciting as I was hoping it would be. But at least nobody tried to kill me. Anything else I can use? I think what's his name has my mead. Barrack. Okay, right back to where we came from. Is that's just the path where I fought those guys. Right? Yeah. So let's just go straight back. Where do I need to? Oh, I need to go up to the back here. Is it sunset yet? Oh yeah. Oh no, but I need to come at sunrise to see the waterfall. Oh shit. Maybe I can go around. There's an eerie glow of unknown origin coming from the depths of this pit. Ooh, is that a trap?
Did you hear that?
Is it a trap?
On it.
Just point me in the right direction.
Can't do that.
Oh no, it's just a cache. Ooh, very nice cache. Who should get the greater potions? I feel like everyone should have one. Maybe Lantry will take this one. What does the mushroom do? We'll revive. And I'll take the fruit off. And you should get 2 of these. And I'll leave the potions.
Right.
Just point me in the right direction.
Sorry, I can't. On it.
On the lookout.
This goes to another area.
No one will know I was there.
Door creates a near-perfect seal with the surrounding walls. Along its surface you see several chips and shallow gouges from failed attempts to force it open. There is nothing to interact with on its panels, and you surmise that it was never meant to be opened from the side. These floor stones have been broken recently. Bits of metal nearby would suggest it's the result of careless soldiers. Nice.
Ah, got it.
Iron guitar. Can I play Guitar Hero, you think? It's better accuracy, better recovery, and better armor penetration, but slightly worse DPS. It's not as good as the hammer, but it's pretty good compared to the axe. 160 DPS. Yeah, it's definitely better than the axe. It's very small. Sometimes smaller is better. Ooh, interesting rune. The second relief, though heavily damaged, is clearly meant to depict a runic symbol similar to the one you saw at Ascension Hall. The relief is incomplete, and thus the final form of the rune is unknown. Make a charcoal rubbing of the relief's shape to help discern the rune's design. Oh crap. Pressing charcoal to parchment, you capture a blurry but proportionate image of the ancient relief. With enough collected imprints, it may be possible to reconstruct the original shape of the rune. Actually, as you work, Lantry hovers near. See how that pattern looks broken along 2 edges? I think there's more to the engraving than what's here. Finish the tracing. Then we'll look for more. Lantry nods. Agreed. If we collect enough sketches and imprints, we could no doubt reconstruct the original image in its entirety.
Can you feel it? There's power here. We should explore.
Quiet down.
I don't know. Oh, are those traps? Or there's some sort of interaction, a puzzle maybe. This chamber immediately reminds you of Ascension Hall. An intricate rune running along the floor can only mean one thing. You stand at the feet of a great spire. Each step you take echoes across a great distance. As you gaze upwards, the sage-colored walls quickly give way to unending blackness. The rune in the center of the floor is inactive, and the silence of the hall offers no clues as to its use or function. You feel a slight tug in your chest, a faint echo of the energy that enveloped you at Vendrian's Well. Hold a moment. Lantry bellows the comment louder than needed, smiling as he hears his voice echo through the massive chamber. If my sense of direction is at all reasonable, we are standing below the spire in this region. What do you know of the spires? Lantry raises an eyebrow. About as much as you, I'm afraid. Until our time at Vendrian's Well, I didn't realize there were ways to access the upper reaches. Speaking of which, I'm certain there's a way to access the top of this spire as well. Let's keep our eyes out for sigils or glyphs nearby. What do you recommend? Lantry points at the pattern on the floor. I'd start with the grooves and the stones on the floor over there. If it's like the spire at Vendrian's Well, whomever built this created a mystical conduit to the top, and I'd think it very, very unlikely that the pattern is purely decorative. Let's press on. I don't like how... Sometimes I wish I played a healer. I don't like how certain characters will be more vital than others purely because of what class they are. Like, you're always going to have a healer in your party. But I guess this game is kind of flexible. There are other abilities that heal. But still, I feel like most people are going to have a healer. So, like, the developers know that almost all parties are going to end up having Lantry in them. Except on the off chance that you make a healer as your main character. Interesting rune. Is it the same as the other one? Yeah. I believe this has something to do with the symbol on the floor of the spire. Can I recreate that symbol with a triangle and then like a reverse triangle and a circle on the outside? I might be able to.
If we knew what glyph we needed, I'll bet we could unlock this puzzle.
Is there a better, higher resolution picture of the glyph? Because that one's kind of hard to see. Is it in my inventory? Oh, can I look at it? Oh, yes. Examine the mysterious rubbing. Determine the significance of the rubbing. A portion of an unknown sigil has been recorded on the scroll. The charcoal imprint is rough and incomplete, leaving the full design a mystery for now. So I still need more. Still need more of them, I guess. What's this thing? These grooves in the floor are inlaid with dim incandescent material that glimmers upon closer inspection. They appear to intersect at various angles, forming a myriad of potential shapes similar to the rubbing you found. Okay, I probably have to... It's saying I need more rubbings, though. That's what he said. But really... can I actually go off of this, or do I need more of it? And it's not at all what the one on the wall actually looks like, but is that just
Sorry,
decorative?
I can't.
I guess I'll just guess 2 triangles Upside down. Nope. Yeah, there's got to be more symbols somewhere. Well, I could try the one that is actually on the wall. Unless, are there any other ones? Oh yeah, see, that's weird. It's showing that one, but it's not showing the other one. Like the one that, this looks like the one in the other room, but it doesn't look like this one. Did this one just disappear? Let's just try it. A triangle. Out of the way.
As you command.
A triangle there. And then you have a V. And then you have these wings. This probably should connect. Ah, move.
I suppose I can do that.
On it.
This kind of looks like that one, right? I think that could be it. Nope. Maybe it's a combination of both of them. Looks like there's a Fortnite update. Might not be playing for a little bit. I should check that I have it updated though. Looks like it's updated. Okay, let me try the combination of the two.
You know,
Right.
I didn't abandon Nerat because I
On it.
enjoy constant prodding.
Oh,
If I must,
you can click on them?
if you think it will help. Poke me again, and I swear I'll scream.
This is great.
Poke me again, and I swear I'll scream. You know, I didn't abandon Nerat because I enjoy constant prodding.
Hey, what did I tell you? Hands off, shithead. Hey, what did I tell you? Hands off, shithead.
Oh, Rhombus doesn't say anything.
Is this some sort of prank? Kids these days. Is this some sort of prank?
I love it.
Kids
I got
these
it.
days.
So there's the
Will do.
two triangles, one upright, one upside down. From this one. And right. Yeah, it's a full circle. And then the bat wings from this one. That would be the two of them together. But I'm guessing... No, I'm guessing I just need another charcoal rubbing. That's probably why I don't have two in my inventory, because it probably just combined both of them together, and I'm guessing that just what's on the screen, what's in the background, is just not actually accurate. Where am I going to find another charcoal? Not a charcoal, another rubbing, a rune. Yeah, this is kind of the same, actually. I guess that's as far as I can go. It's kind of disappointing. Maybe if I go back to the tower, to my tower. Find a way, yeah. Same runes at the teleportation device you saw at the bottom of the mountain, the Spire and Ascension Hall. However, everything seems inert. Let's go back then. All right. Looks like no Fortnite. It's all good though. I probably should take a break. It's been almost 4 hours. But it's just taking me so long to get anywhere in this game. I haven't fought a single battle today. Not that I'm upset, because of course every battle is one step closer to my death. Is there anything down here? Broken Hill Towers just for sale. Whoa, did I? Oh, it's like a quest item. So bring it to. Oh, it's for the spire. Very cool. Okay, I think that's enough for one day. So I'm gonna call it quits. I'm considering raiding someone. It's definitely a consideration, but I have not decided who yet. I was thinking of raiding True Blue, but I think they're done. They were streaming earlier, but I think they're done for the day. Yeah, so let's see who else is around. I highly doubt anyone is streaming this game. Someone's doing a choose my adventure. That could be fun. Let's see if there's any D&D streamers right now that I know. Because it's close enough. Don't think anyone I know is streaming D&D right now. No, yeah. No D&D streamers. So I think I'm just gonna raid another streamer that I follow. He goes by Qtaya. I think it's pronounced Qtaya, but he's a cool. He does a lot of work in the game Dreams, which is kind of like a game development. It is a game, but it also teaches you some like game development stuff. It's kind of like Little Big Planet and RPG Maker. There's a lot of sort of elements of creativity in it. So I'm just checking his stream to make sure that he's not about to. Okay, he's just playing some God of War. Normally he plays streams, but let's say hi. But yes, if you want to come along for the raid, enter some channel points, you're more than welcome. But of course, if not, I will see you sometime soon. Perhaps tomorrow, but definitely on Sunday night for our whatchamacallit D&D one shot. So here, is this working? Let's see if this works. Okay, so yeah, if you want to stick around, spread some joy and love and appreciation and friendship. But I will see you over there, or I will see you somewhere else very soon. So take care. May all your 20s be natural, and may you enjoy your night and or morning. Here we go.